Ladies and gentlemen, sorry about that delay, but we are good to roll GX vs Unemployed for Christmas. The X core of CLG going up against the Swag, AZK, and Whitmer, more notably, GX lineup.
Yeah, that would be. This will be an interesting game. We've got these Unemployed for Christmas guys playing against a team who did have a little bit of a run there through the Mountain Dew League, and they did qualify for the Mountain Dew League Global Challenge Finals. However, they did not. Did they? Where did they place at the end? I forget actually where they finished placement-wise.
Just outside of playoffs, I think.
No. Well, no, they made playoffs.
Oh,
and they actually qualified for LAN.
Right.
I just don't remember where they ended up finishing. Like what seed they're at right now. I don't quite recall, but regardless, pistol round action is developing over towards this B bomb site. We've got Dapper and company trying to hold the line. Dapper gets one. Koyo's going to pick up another. As the CT side tries to defend, the bomb has backed off, and it's going to be heading towards mid. And it'll be Unemployed for Christmas, gathering up control of mid, but not really doing with it anything with it as of yet. In fact, the Glocks are going to be moving over towards Longmore. Two players have gone into this A bomb site to try and play defense, and one of them just died. Kusta hits a beautiful shot onto Poyo. So that brings things down to a 3-on-3, and AZK's floundering about in sight. He's concerned about the push that could be coming in. At the very least, if he dies here, there will be a get close. Nice shot from AZK onto Cutler. He's looking for another. They have no idea where it came from. The beauty of the silenced USP. Kusta's mid-wall. I think he just gushed Dapper through the edge of the APC. But it is a 1v3, and the bomb's down just in front of him. The clock is ticking lower and lower by the second. As he tries to go back and grab it, Dapper's jumping, leaping for intel, and they've got one holding the cross. That'll be Whitmer, who's ready to peek. He hears that shot come out from Kusta, and he's just delaying. They're delaying and delaying. Finally, Whitmer's going to peek. Kusta gets lost in the magazine, and it will be GX winning the pistol.
That was crazy from Unemployed for Christmas. You saw left side and right side rock smokes, and they immediately, I believe they came down drop, and then jumped out of E-box through those smokes to try to catch one of the players. They're trying to ignore B's site completely and fight towards the window / connector rotator player. And instead, they run into two members of GX. They weren't expecting that. And then it's just a numbers game from GX. AZK, it's a nice shot from back sight. And now Unemployed for Christmas. Without that bomb plant, we'll be fully invested in the upgraded pistols. There's that Tech 9. Kusta uses it. Maybe it's an offer thing, as GX will pick up the SMGs and such. But a clean one from GX, all things considered. Swag will lock down the long A side of things. That nade doing a little bit of damage towards Kusta and Ethan. But now he realizes the gig is up. He will simply fall back, not wanting to get caught from these upgraded pistols. As Unemployed for Christmas will slowly work their way out long A. Now keep in mind the bomb is over here. And Rix is down drop. Or was, excuse me, or wasn't. He was top drop. Losing my mind. With a crop top, as Rix is just going to hold for the plat push, will peek, and throw a smoke towards Broken Wall. This will keep Poyo and GX and company honest, and actually bait on a molly, leaving Swag completely alone and isolated in the A site. If Unemployed for Christmas, I'm just calling him UFC for short, decide to push in towards this A site. Swag will call for rotation. It's going to be Dapper here, as Whitmer will deal with Rix. Now they know it's just a one-sided attack towards the A site. Swag peeks before his flash, and will help out with Cutler. The UMP, not as good as it used to be. And Ethan shows you why, as it's Whitmer, AZK, and Poyo in a retake. And AZK is not scared. He's already out fighting APC. There's a player behind him. I don't know how he hasn't been shot from long yet. There you have it. Kusta with a Tech 9 will pounce, but now the gig is up. They know where he is. He's in a 1v2, and AZK is heavily tagged down to 8. As Poyo gets the Broken Wall, and Kusta's Tech 9 can't hit the mark. Poyo shuts it down, and GX will allow a bomb plant, but will hang on to that round as they keep two alive. As we will see, I imagine, just an upgraded pistol investment coming in from Unemployed for Christmas. Again, I'm going to start calling them UFC. Please don't sue us, as it is just going to be a couple upgraded pistols, a CZ, a Deagle, P250, and a Flash, as UFC look to head towards the A side of things. And again, full trust in Swag. That's what GX have. I imagine this will stay very similar in rifle rounds. Perhaps you'll get a little more help from a player towards door and top mid, but for now it is just him alone. It's a one-man army, and GX have full trust in him. Deploys his smoke. Now just waiting. With a minute 15 on the clock. He's actually getting wrapped, so no sound cues given up from UFC there. They wait behind the smoke. They don't make any noise towards mid. Whitmer's going to try to be the cleanup crew instead. He lies there. His body getting cold now as we stand in an even 3v3, and Dapper's going to try to get the site. Try to shut down UFC from attempting this push towards the A site. Ethan is in a prime spot with his deagle. He actually is able to catch out Dapper, who fails the initial jump on towards site, which would have allowed him to stay alive. Now it's just AZK. M4 in hand. Back APC missing some crucial shots. He may just go down, but he swings again. And again, no fear for AZK. As he's going to get in sight, Pollo helps out. And it's Ethan, the last man standing for UFC. He'll take the fight towards door, and Pollo will hit it. 2 rounds that go back and forth, very close. 2 players staying alive from GX in the last 2 rounds. And this is going to be a decently meaty buy from UFC. It'll be AKs in full utility, while GX will get the op out. And no other than Mr. Whitmer's hands. As UFC will leave 1 player towards outside big yard towards A. I believe that is Cutler. Tasked to make sure no one gets cheeky on the GX side and goes for a quick flank. As UFC, the main blunt of the force, focuses on drop room / plat. And as Cutler slowly shifts back and stops focusing his attention towards A, utility will start to rain in. Molly under boost, or under drop, and 1 towards E-box, and Exotic's got the opening pick. That's Whitmer gone. Dapper, noise cube, drops the Molly. It's going to put Ethan into an awkward corner and stop Ricks from dropping down for now, but keep in mind AZK is on top of tree. And it's another great utility usage from UFC. To make Pollo leave his stairs position, he's good for a frag as AZK is dodging flashes left and right, and he will finally get put down as Kusa's going to swing a good trade, but it's Dapper to hold on. Can he get the final kill? He dinks up and cleans up Ricks. GX for nothing over UFC as Dapper will pick up the AK, get a spray out. And that was certainly another close round, but it's GX to come out on top, which has been the story thus far in this match. We'll see if that continues. But losing bonus, and a couple rounds go that bomb plant, gives them just enough cash to justify a buy here. Knowing they'll get that 3,400 for max loss, they'll get out the 2 Galils, 2 AKs, and Lone Deagle and Ethan. Like Ricks wants to beat that smoke. He's simply going to jump out. Great time flash from USC. He just can't control the spray of the Galil, and these trades seemingly were going GX's way. But it's no other than Ethan to find the 3rd to bring it back.
Dapper now in the drop room, moving out from E-box. He's going to molly off the front side of tree, or opposite pizza. I heard a guy call that calzone once. Thought it was a pretty clever call. It's Exotic, though, to win things out for the side of Unemployed for Christmas. Their first round after GX grabbed 4 straight. Now GX's money, garbage, not good. Should be a save coming out from the CT side, and the T should be able to get a few bonus on top.
Well, you can see how close these last few rounds have been on 2 players from GX staying alive. Round 3, again, another round where only 2 stayed alive. Round 4, only 1. As UFC look to try to get back into this game on their T side. They haven't been the cleanest rounds for GX, but it's a round on the board, and rounds, if you will, on the board nonetheless. So content they will be as Swag, still being the solo presence towards A, will finally go down. But you can see Dapper getting close mid to cover that.
And Dapper moving in with that CZ75. He's going to go ahead and pick up that scout. They'll be falling back with it, so they'll be able to gather up that gun. Whitmer has also taken quite a bit of damage. He's on 32. So it's a man advantage here for Unemployed for Christmas. They get another kill and drop, but Kusta dies in exchange to Pollo with the CZ. Now, Whitmer's pushed up aggressively on long B. Ethan peeks out wide enough to spot him. It's a good kill coming out for Unemployed for Christmas. And that name is going to irritate me, I can tell. It's just a
I'm
mouthful.
calling him UFC.
I'm about to start calling him UFC as well. Dapper and Poyo are all that remain. It's the Scout and the CZ combo. However, the good thing is they are running right into this CZ, which is going to be point-blank range. That's lethal for the CZ.
Poyo able to get the first, and it is just Dapper alone on the Scout. Too heavily tagged. Takes a nice shot on Ethan, and finally Cutler will put him down. Thank goodness Dana White's not a CSGO fan as far as we know. Otherwise, we may be in trouble, but I think we're in the clear, just as UFC seem to be now. They'll have cash. They'll have to rebuy a decent amount, but they're still sitting relatively pretty in comparison to their enemies in this sense. GX.
One more round of saving here for the CTs. That'll allow the Unemployed for Christmas side to build a bit of a buffer. That's with their money. They move towards mid. It's an easy slaughter for Kusta, who opens up the AK. Cutler's going to do the same. That round is over in a snap as UFC puts 3 on the board. Just a 1-round advantage now for GX. A buy comes out. It will include the glass cannon op. And Swag's going to be the one that's carrying it. We were talking about this during the very long pause while we waited for this first map to go live. We were talking about a dream team roster, essentially. And we had said Swag as a rifler and op. I kind of like Swag as an opper, so I like the fact that he's picking it up here. Obviously, Whitmer is a strong op, but I want to see what Swag can do, even if it's just a spawn kill. Even if he's just going off spawns. Let's see if he can find that first shot.
Now, he knows they've given up mid, so Whitmer is just going to hold this smoke. And it looks like UFC are just not interested. They're just going to simply run up mid. They'll molly Whitmer off, so this may even force him either to fight or to fall back. He chooses the fight option, and the MAC-10 at range is just disgustingly not good. As they will trade 1 for 1, Swag still looking for a chance to peek, and he finds it. Just the tiniest of angles as it's a nade that takes him down. As it's Ethan and Rix in a 2v2, and you can see how heavily tagged Ethan already is, but he's just going to wait. He has time on his side, and Rix, who's coming from behind. He knows where both players are. He has just been set up to dunk this one down.
We talked about this too. Rix being a player that's really good in these clutch situations. He anticipates one close, but he doesn't expect Poyo to be all the way in the backside of that A bomb site behind the barrels. So it'll be around there for the CT side. After giving up just 3, they take control again on their CT side. Now, Unemployed for Christmas still have cash, plenty of it. They could have even considered an op. It just would have been a glass cannon. They haven't purchased it yet. They will just go with AKs across the board. No AWP here for GX. No glass cannon this time. It's actually 2 umps, 2 M4s, and an AK. But they've got plenty of utility. We'll see if GX can keep this chain going. Otherwise, Unemployed for Christmas could break the money and really start building up on their T-side rounds.
AZK playing towards stairs. Now, in UFC's executions, they have been mollying stairs. So we'll see if that's going to come into play and force AZK into the open. They do have another smoke. Now they have 1 more. That's left on Whitmer. They have 1 more smoke remaining for this plat area. Whitmer will count to 18. Or sorry, 16. And deploy the last one in his arsenal. As in comes the mollies. There's that stairs molly. Forces AZK out, but he will get his own molly out first. And he immediately tucks into the cubby as Whitmer. Still on plat. Keep that in mind. Rix jumps out. Perfect lineup for AZK, but it's Poyo to find one. AZK doesn't find any success as Dapper's going to push in the site, but there you have it. Whitmer will pounce, and pounce he will. He's able to get 2 kills and stay alive as it's just Cutler.
That flash almost ended up being good in a way for Whitmer. Kept him alive a little while longer because his targets were blind just as much as he was. They tried to move up further. His teammates did damage. Finally, when he could see again, they had no idea he was there. They never even heard the shots. Cutler's in E-box, and he starts the spam fight through the smoke. It's just more bullets coming from the other side. What can the man do? 6-3, GX do win 2 in a row. They keep their money solid. T-side cash is a little all over the place. Cutler has enough to buy, but the rest sitting low. It should be a save coming in from UFC, and GX should be able to grab their 7th round. Watch out for that fast B or that full-bore mid-rush. I've seen in general that just like honestly running straight up mid is way more successful on a save than it should be.
Hard to slow it down. Especially with how aggressive Jack's been playing towards long A. There's certainly some merits. As Cutler finds the 1D gun Swag. As now, that will pull a rotation from GX. It puts Dapper at connector door, forces AZK to hold window, and one player on the B site. So AZK, either he jumps and drops and fights this to help out the player on site, or they get completely isolated and just locked out. And it looks like UFC should be able to find Poyo. As Cutler falls on the opposite side of the map, but here go UFC. Can they find Poyo and get the bomb planted? Ethan certainly can. And this is going to be a bomb plant unless AZK has something to say about it.
AZK by the rock with the UMP. Dapper's shown up as well. The young fragger for GX guns him down. 4 kills for Dapper with that AK. Impressive control of the AK-47. Nets the CT side yet another round. The money for Unemployed for Christmas is good enough to consider a buy, and they shall. But they got to watch out for Dapper, who's now heating up. He's at 10-6. Poyo at 13-6. Coming into the season, this roster, these 2 pickups were the big question marks. Everyone's like, well, AZK might take a while to warm up, but he's AZK, one of the most successful and legendary Counter-Strike players in North America in North American history. You've got Swag, who's potentially one of the best that's ever played Counter-Strike in North America, even though he hasn't had too much of an opportunity to prove himself in CSGO. And then you obviously had the leadership of Boo. That is since not an issue. But Dapper and Poyo is like, okay, well, can they really hang with this team? Is it going to work out in the long run? And I got to give credit to both of them. They've managed to stick around, and Dapper has definitely impressed me. He's improved even further upon what he improved. The first time I saw him, he was not that great. He was a weak player. He's made massive improvements, and he's actually become one of the more promising young players in North American CS.
When you have potential, I feel, and you get put with players that are better than you, it helps so much. You can learn so much. Even if they're not having the best time that they in their career, stats-wise, it's just the legendary status upon them. You can learn a ton from players like AZK, like Swag. And perhaps it is rubbing off on towards Dapper. As UFC will get Koosted down on... Rix did spray the box, so not 100% that they heard that. But certainly can question the spray, and as Dapper will continue to hold the window. You'll see Poyo eyeing plat / E-box. Well, with 35 seconds, UFC looks like they're going to leave Cutler to roam again towards the A site, do his lurk job, and try to find a frag, but it looks like UFC really do want to commit towards this B site once again.
We've got one player here. It's AZK who's on the broken wall. He's only able to get one from that position. And ex-CLG, now known as UFC, able to secure the B bomb site. The bomb should be planted in a moment. Kusta's actually made it all the way up to the window. Hi, Whitmer. It'll be up to Swag to try and find something to shot through the wall. There it is. Ooh. We knew it was coming, and indeed hits it. But Exotic fires right on back. Good reaction time and clean comms coming out from UFC to get that call out to Exotic that he was encroaching. So it is a 4th round there for UFC. A bit of razzle-dazzle towards the end from both Swag and Exotic.
And with Rix on 4, certainly looked doable if he was able to find that last player. Instead of 7-4 scoreline. And this time, Dapper's the man to buy the op. Perhaps he wants it towards that plat side of things. And with Swag being comfortable towards long A, you don't really want to pull him off a position. And Whitmer being his support, they're willing to hand that over to young Daps as he will head towards the B site. As Poyo will worry about drop room. A little more spread out from UFC into this round, more of a default. With Exotic picking up the op over Kusta. That's an interesting little thing.
Yeah. It's kind of an awkward role reversal. It's like we're seeing Dapper opping here instead of Whitmer. We're seeing Exotic opping instead of Kusta. This is a real feels liquid man for Kusta.
Flashbacks.
Oh, he's having PTSD flashbacks to his time on Liquid. You know what? I actually think that Kusta is still a player that has tremendous promise, and that run with Liquid hurt his career so much because I think it made people really doubt him and his capabilities. Nice flashbang coming out from UFC as Rix jumps through the window and kills Poyo. It's a good entry that gives UFC control of Connector. And now they have flex play and flank play towards this A bomb site. Swag's boosted up on Humpty Dumpty. Rix isn't going to immediately see him, but now he does. As he drops off, the call should be made, and the attempt to wrap is in by Cutler. The kills come in from mid, though, as they drop the mid player easily, and the remaining 2 might just decide to save. Dapper's pretty far away from the play, and AZK is backing off. It's a save coming out for GX in a 5th round for UFC.
I like that from UFC. Get a player and drop, that flash in window, so it was perfect. The first one goes deep intentional in case he is playing more passive, and the second one is right on the button. either it's assuming that the player, if he is playing further back, will re-peek right into the flash, or if he's close, that's a flash that's very difficult to look away from. There's really no tells in it. It just lands and pops. And he had no chance. As it is a save now, as you mentioned, Dapper and AZK will hang on or attempt to, as UFC don't have the most cash to go on a little bit of a hunt. But perhaps if they group up, they don't mind trading 1-for-1 to just hurt GX in the coming round.
AZK and Dapper just hanging onto the guns at no immediate risk of losing them. Dapper's backed by Rapunzel, and AZK chilling behind the rocks and spawn. The money is not good. They don't really have any cash to drop either. No pistols that they can gift over. So the rest of the team has a decision to make. Do we risk it and throw the armor in, buy utility on these guys that are alive, or do we just full save, spend nothing? I think the full save has merit. Whitmer is the only one that buys anything. He buys a P250. Something to talk about, and we haven't really considered it yet. The P250, since the change, people still buy it in these rounds, even though against head-armored opponents, it can no longer one-shot, regardless of distance. Which makes it interesting, because in these rounds, it's like, okay, you're kind of gambling on being able to hit twice without aim punch taking over.
It's all about that money. Ethan didn't get spotted, so they're going to run right by him. Shoots on the first blur, transfers the spray onto the second, and he has the help from Exotic to beat up the last, as it is just Dapper. Would love to get out of here with the op, and he will be given the opportunity to peace out. But he's going to hang around, assuming to be an immediate hunt. He's willing to push that door yet. Oh, look at this from Dapper. Now, he doesn't have a kit. And no one's going to check drop other than Exotic. So if he wins this duel, he has time to defuse. He hits the no-scope. Is he going to run right for it? No. He gets rid of one up, picks up the second. He's actually getting rid of both. Smart play. Unless that nade knocks it back in the drop room. It did not. But will they get it?
Yep.
Ah, okay.
There was actually two up there. So
yeah,
there was double potential for them to get one. So yeah, they do keep the op in play. And again, it is interesting to see Exotic carrying it. Now, I'm being told that Kusta is actually currently calling for UFC.
That's... I don't want to say strange. I just figured it'd be Cutler.
It's different. I didn't
definitely
expect
different.
it. I know, I've met Kenny, and he's actually like low-key hilarious guy, but I didn't really see him as like the assertive type that could handle the responsibilities of in-game leadership. I'm not saying he's like a beta cuck, but I just didn't look at him as like that type of person. I felt like he was better as a soldier, not a commander. But it appears to be working right now. The team's managed to grab 6 rounds, and they might grab a 7th here. Good shooting from Exotic with that AWP has certainly helped in this first half. They've got Dapper on the flank, Swag holding towards E-Box. So to a certain extent, they are hemmed in. It's a matter of what they decide to do with this. Dapper is still encroaching on this flank. They have to start looking back behind them, and Exotic is holding the line, but he might get caught as he unscopes and moves. He actually sees him as a split second. He realizes it. Dapper's going to come right out. Good peek from Dapper, but now he's alone, spraying in the fight with Kusta. He'll get deep in the mag, go for the reload, and reposition.
Fakes the drop noise, but then we'll make more noise as he jumps down. Ethan just holds. And it is an interesting dynamic that Kusta's calling. I suppose he doesn't feel like he has that mental power or concentration to be able to op and call at the same time. Plus, Exotic from the CLG Academy team clearly can hold his own. He's hitting the shots required, minus that last one, but he is certainly showing you that he is capable with the op. So you know what? Let's get the job done. And that's all that really matters is into this final round with this bye. It's nothing but lackluster from the GX side. A couple UMPs, a FAMAS, a Mag 7, and a Deagle. Deadly weapons, if put in the right hands and positions. But if UFC play this one correctly, use their utility, flush out certain spots, it's looking like an 8-7. Maybe just in the works for them.
It's shaping out to be a standard Cobble first half.
Yep.
7-7. Regardless of what happens here, this is a kind of a score you're used to seeing on this map. Ethan behind the smoke, waiting for it to fade. AZK's right on the other side. If he peeks up just a little too high, we'll see AZK lose his head. However, Whitmer's gotten that first kill. It's a nice start for GX. Here comes the flashbang out over the wall. There's the Mag 7 close. Somehow doesn't work out too well at first. But then eventually he delivers, finds 2 kills, swaps out for the AK. That's going to be Poyo going big. And it will be GX grabbing the 8th round. The end of the first half goes their way. They'll be walking into the second half with a 1-round advantage moving to the T side.
Well, we will be right back with a quick ad break as normal, folks. Stick around for the end of the second half. Yeah, GX and UFC. Get me out of here, boss.
My name is Trick2G, and I use CyberPowerPC powered by Intel. Let's go!
Welcome back and happy holidays. GX, you unemployed for Christmas. That doesn't sound like happy holidays, but they are happy as they are playing Counter-Strike against GX. Winner moves on, loser is unemployed for the tournament.
I mean, there's certainly a certain amount of urgency to winning this for Unemployed for Christmas. This is Christmas gifts. This is potentially being able to go home and see family. As far as I know, they're still living in the CLG house. From what we could see, based on player cams and stuff we had seen coming into this. So I guess that's what's going on, but I really don't know. That said, I wish them the best of luck in the future. Hopefully things will work out in the end. They usually have a way of doing that. Exotic on the broken wall with the USP. Gets into a fight with the first target. He's going to lose the battle after just getting 1 kill. He's the only one that's found a kill as of yet, and he might be the only one that finds a kill the entire round. The promising young player who's moved up from CLG Academy tried to stop this B push. The rest of his team crumbles, and eventually he falls as well. It's up to Ethan now in a 1v4, one of the members of the NA Dream Team we selected. Nice shot. Pops Whitmer's head like a pimple. As he moves further in towards the E-box, there's a target to his right behind White Rock, and Dapper's to his left as well. That's the nature of that play. They had Crossfire set up. He was bound to die eventually. It will be the 9th round there for GX, and an opportunity to spread that 1 round out a little bit further.
AZK on pistol rounds. Deadly scary. And look at UFC. You know what? I respect this. Not buying all the way in on the CT side, especially a map like Cobblestone when utility is so valuable and you want as much as you can in your first rifle round. I appreciate not force buying here, but going for nades, keeping it light with upgraded pistols, this nade stack could hurt GX, certainly.
We'll see. It's a B stack right now with mostly just pistols. I like the discipline coming out. They don't really spend much money. There's no armor, but there's that double nade. Like you said, it could hurt, and it does. Rix and Exotic gonna combo Poyo and AZK. That's certainly gonna sting a little bit.
And Whitmer has to be careful. If Ethan would have caught him, that would have been more rifles into their hands, as they know they need to rotate towards the A site. There's barely any more noise being made. GX will be able to get in the site, get the bomb planted. And you know what? I could see UFC just grabbing those 2 AKs, being content with that. Then again, you want as much cash as possible. Might as well fight it out and try to die. But feeding this UMP at Dapper may help Dapper out a little bit.
Bomb has been planted.
I also liked how they delayed that bomb plant to give Dapper more time to try to hunt. Pretty sure that was the case.
I mean, usually you'll see that when a team is, they'll just delay, give a player an opportunity to get into a more advanced position. So Cutler and Exotic gonna get free guns. Yeah, it's a Galil, so it's barely a gun. It's like an automatic Tech 9, honestly, given its... And I mean automatic Tech 9 today, not the Tech 9 when it was actually good. It's got a deep magazine, though. Maybe we'll be able to see Cutler find a kill with it. At least he can head peek here, which gives him survivability. Exotic is playing back in the chicken coop. He'll be able to bring that AK down. There's Cutler finding one. Swag might actually die here, and that would be no guns coming into the next round. Swag's trying to take the AK. Exotic's playing wing around the Rosie, and there you go. Cutler upgrades to an AK, takes down Swag. Not a single member of the T side survives the round. That is punishing. Coming into the first buy round now, what would be a buy round here for the CT side if they juggle guns around. This is actually really promising for Unemployed for Christmas. They now have 5 rifles. Yeah, 3 of them are a FAMAS. But I don't know if GX is going to expect this.
Risky, but the reward is certainly worth it, as that nade will slow AZK and Swag down. Swag's going to be the first one out and around. He'll spot Ethan, who immediately looks at his shoes, admires how clean they are and how expensive they are. And he'll stay alive to find a frag, as Dapper's going to look for him. He will find it. It's AZK actually to steal that one away, but Dapper can't land any shots, and it's just Swag. A 1v4, nice shot and Exotic through the tree. But the bomb is down outside of Pizza. And Cutler's on 1 HP, so do not count him out. Oh no, look at him go. He gets Kusta and Cutler. It's Rix and he has 6 bullets. Oh my Swag! How does he do it every time? This isn't. Right, guess this is a match and he just got a 4K like it was nothing. Didn't even look like he broke a sweat.
Well, we do have a pause coming in as well. I think everyone on their team just needs to reset. Maybe Swag just celebrated too much and broke his mic. Apparently there's a mic issue. Swag with an impressive play that gives GX a round you wouldn't expect them to be able to take. That's really frustrating if you're UFC, because you were coming into that one like, man, we just got 2 AKs and we killed everyone. I've talked about that type of situation with players in the past. When you let a team accumulate full loss bonus, like we've talked about, like let them defuse. Like on a map like Inferno, for instance. Plant the bomb, you're on the T side, you've given the CT side full loss bonus, they come into a buy. Plant the bomb, let them defuse, and then collapse and kill everyone. So that when they come into the next round, all they have is the money from the defuse, and they're fully reset. Like, they have to buy up, you win that round, they are double ecoing. So you have a weak round, and then 2 pistols. So it's like it's a swing that gets you a bonus of an additional round, rather than just piling on wins when they have force buy, because then they just have to, you know, lose the buy, force buy again, force buy again. And, you know, a few players have actually said they've considered it in the past.
The non-stop money spenders? Do you think they need to unnerf the Tech 9?
Unnerf the Tech 9? No.
Am I speaking crazy talk?
I do think that in its current state, the CZ is too strong when compared to other pistols. Despite the fact that they didn't change anything, I think because of the way that they nerfed the 5.7 and the Tech 9, I think that there's really not an appropriate alternative. Also, the P250, like all of the pistols got nerfed except for the CZ. The CZ is like the only one that Valve has just been like, it's fine, no one's using it anymore.
At least
maybe they can just buff the R8.
Alu uses the R8.
I've seen a couple players. Davey uses it in troll situations. A couple of Europeans play with it.
Alu doesn't troll.
Ever?
Well, see, that's a bold statement.
Have you met the guy?
I have.
I'm told he's a massive troll. Isn't this the same guy who put a picture of his balls on Twitter?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. He definitely did that. But actually, it was Chet who told him to use it because it does more damage per body shot instead of a deagle. And it's $100 less. That was their rationale. As Wimmer is going to show you how to abuse these pistols. As he jumps out and gets 2, he'll go down. They don't want to fight into that AK. They'll simply run over towards the A site, try to meet up with Exotic, take him down, and just waltz into the A site. Poyo will be the first man around the corner. Checks the wrong corner, and Exotic makes him pay for it. But this should still be GX's round, unless Kusta can show you how good his rifle really is.
Kusta tries to do what he can, but unfortunately, it's not much. Barely sends a shot out by the time AZK takes him down. It's 4 straight rounds now for GX. CT side money is blossoming nicely. So there will be M4s coming out. Exotic's going to be able to get the off as well. And we'll see if he's able to turn things around here for UFC. I do feel like even though his numbers don't look amazing, 15 and 14, it's not a stat line you'd necessarily brag about. It is towards the top of the charts for UFC, and he was a large part of the reason they were picking up rounds that they were. So I'm interested to see how they're going to utilize him over on this B bomb site. Looks like he wants to go aggro initially, but then he hears the footsteps, decides to back off and head towards the statue.
Respectable play, not wanting to get picked. Seemingly has been the CT-sided issue thus far. As Pollo will take charge. Hold in front of his own teammates. Or actually, that's from UFC smoke. He'll just hold as Rix is going to be able to catch Dapper. And now EZK is just going to go regroup with the team. As they look to throw some smokes over in a moment towards the site. But they still have to deal with 2 players from UFC at the corner of Long A. And keep in mind, Rix is in a rotating position. The longer this clock ticks down, the more antsy UFC will get, and perhaps will peak something. But it looks like they're content to just do this crossfire setup at the corner, and that smoke is gone. Goodbye, never to see the map ever again. And Kusta, can he fight into this? The spray is good. He gets one and decent damage onto Swag. The smoke would have been lovely to have right now. They only had 2 and 1's gone, so they have to use the molly towards balcony instead. But it still allowed GX to get to the site and plant. Goodbye, AZK. Exotic. This kid, when he has an op, thoroughly impressive.
Certainly impressed by Exotic. The work he's been able to do here for UFC has been amazing. Pollo in sight. Can't keep his head looking to the left, right any further. That allows Rix to sneak up. Swag's trying to defend at this point, but he's low on HP, and there's Exotic delivering yet another blow with the op. So again, like we said, Exotic has been a big piece of this UFC team, and not only playing defense, but also on the attack. We get to see what he can do here on the retake. He's now driving towards the top of the frag chart again, just behind Kusta. Him and Kusta kind of trading blows. Responsibility shared evenly, though, amongst both teams. The plus-minus differential for kills right now between the top fragger for UFC is 6, and then for GX, it's 5. Even frag distribution by everyone. Everyone is stepping up their game.
The Deagle Brigade. 5 Deagles, 5 sets of armor. And they are on a hunting mission. As Dapper and Pollo are on their lonesome missions towards the site, while Swag will lose his against Rix. The one-tap M4 not having head armor, Exotic is able to clean up 2 of his own, and it is just Dapper and Pollo. They went in for the half buy, knowing they can get a full into the next on 2-round loss, plus this bomb plant money helps, of course. But if UFC can keep it flawless, considering how broke they are, they're kind of on eggshells, it's ideal for them.
Dapper and Pollo can't even realistically go find the bomb. So, realistically, this is just an opportunity to take down a few players. Now, Dapper didn't see that guy door. Kusa was looking straight at him, so he ends up returning fire. At that point, Pollo spots him out, and he'll be able to hit a shot with his Deagle that sends Kusta packing. Pollo hanging back on long, though, looking for another shot similar to the one that he took that took down Kusta. He's not going to get a second opportunity similar to the first, as Rix takes over with the M4. It's a 9th round there for UFC, and they're right on the edge of picking up double digits. GX is able to buy, but it's going to be tight. A couple players not really able to get much other than an AK and armor, like Whitmer's on 3850. Dapper was on 3950. So it's not a great round, and Whitmer actually decides, rather than going for the AK and no utility, he opts for the Deagle.
Still one taps. See if he's going to be good with it. Molly will keep him at bay for now. He wants to be first, bait the shots, try to get one. If GX are able to trade him out, that'd be the ideal situation, especially considering he only has 1 more smoke left to throw. That's Pollo will smoke broke wall, flash over for his teammates. There you go, Whitmer's gone, and now he's out of the round. As it's Ethan on sandwich, and they still have to deal with Kusta. No gunfights are going GX's way, and I mean none. It's Dapper alone, can't get the spray transfer back to the pizza player on pizza to Rock, and Cutler ends it. UFC. They keep 4 and 5 players alive and around 21 and 22. That pushes their money up towards the skies, and more importantly, really closes this round difference.
Yeah, that lead has been thinned down to just 2 now. UFC really making this comeback happen. They weren't down by a whole lot coming into the half, but then they lost, obviously, 4 straight. They were only down by 1 that allowed the lead to grow. And now UFC's got the guns against just pistols. They got to be a little bit careful, though. They're playing aggressively on A, and it does cost them Cutler. Exotic's taking shots from the pistol. He's got to be concerned about the guys coming up mid. He has no idea they're there. Rix gets 2, but this is bloody and deadly. This is costing them a ton of money. And it'll be down to Ethan here in the 1v2, and he's probably going to die to the op. That's that fast mid round. That's a round we talked about earlier on in the first half. The ability of the T side to just straight up gun it up mid, catching players off guard who are just trying to get in defensive positions. It's an eco round that should be much easier to stop, but they just catch them off guard. Caught them with their pants down, and now UFC has to buy up again, and they're spending a large part of the reserve they've been building for the last few rounds.
That's why I always wear belts. Because it's a full buy on full buy action, 13-10. And it's an early deep smoke from UFC. Thrown from CT spawn. It'll really keep GX honest, although the smoke does have a significant gap, so it allows Dapper and Co to cross to feel confident going into this boost. As they will double stack up. That Molly's actually going to force AZK forward. Can he get out in time? Yes, he'll escape into the smoke, but look at that, down to 61, and relatively for free at the cost of an $800 Molly. But now he's in one tap M4 range, and the UFC have yet to take a scratch, and just as the words leave my mouth, Ethan will go down to 15. But GX are getting ready to just full-on execute this site.
There is a lot happening on this B site for there to not be a single kill yet. So much utility trading going in both directions. Finally, Kusta's going to spray through that smoke, picking off Swag. Whitmer's on the other side as well, spamming with the op. He's low HP as well. A lot of players have taken damage, and some of them haven't even seen each other yet. Some of this has just been nade utilization early. Rix gets mollied off the stairs. He's going to fall back, and Kusta's in a position we saw in that Cloud9 game, where he had a teammate stairs. They don't expect a player cubby, so Kusta could actually capitalize on this and find a few frags unless GX clears it. Here's the pop flash in. There's the peek. They don't check it. 1, 2, 3 for Kusta. As he bumps out of the cubby, it's an easy 3K. It's exactly the scenario we were speaking of.
Ends with a 4th, and all of a sudden we continue this dance back and forth as GX's money awkwardly spread. Whitmer and Poyo could go for these full buys, but it looks like they're gonna try to all hover around 2,000. AZK and Dapper naturally will be below that, but Poyo and Whitmer will be doing their job, sharing the wealth a little bit as upgraded pistols come out. And keep in mind, it's only gonna be 2-round loss, so only $1,900 will be gained for those two players. As they're gonna try to work the pistols towards B, and Poyo on the lone run up towards danger stairs. He could catch Exotic, who's holding the upper angle. And yes, crouches below the scope, so Flick can't come in time. And was that a running dink of sorts on the Cutler? At least multiple bullets land, and now Rix is put in a world of hurt. Does he rotate or help, or does he hold window? And good thing he decided to choose the latter. He'll hold window and stand his ground, and stand back-to-back with Ethan. As this round still, GX are doing a nice job with these pistols to keep the rounds close. If only their rifles could do the same.
The clock ticks down to the 1-minute mark. It'll be Ethan on the other side of the White Rock. AZK is in drop room. And he's got that deadly CZ75 trained towards the entrance. Ethan looks like he wants to peek it. He gets doubled up as Rix comes through the window, but there's the shot from Poyo, a nice one as well. That sends Rix down and out on the round. The bomb is actually going to be heading over towards B, so it's kind of a rope-a-dope right now. Poyo's on this A bomb site with the op, but the pistol, that's going to be Swag planting the bomb on B. Let's see how long it takes them to realize it. Shouldn't be too long. And in fact, I think they're already connecting the dots here. Cutler's realizing, hey, there's no ticking noise here. And in fact, there goes the op. Swag's able to at least get into connector, or towards a drop room to watch connector, but he changes position, and it's a good thing he did. A molly would have landed right on top of him. So now Swag's going to be playing just outside of E-Box. The bomb is ticking away. It'll be Cutler and Ethan trying to defuse.
Okay, it comes down to timing. Has to hit one bullet on Cutler, and he simply can't. Ethan will stick that defuse. UFC are now within one round. One bullet, one graze, one even upper thigh shot would have done. Instead, they're within one round. Although, bomb plant, GX will get everything out they want, including an op on Whitmer. Now, it's been a while since we've seen it in this match. It's kind of bounced around from Swag to Whitmer to Dapper, but it's finally landing in his hands on the T side. As UFC will send Exotic and his op towards the B site, and that's where GX are currently headed for now. As Whitmer is just simply holding for any kind of A push. UFC will use the typical mollies and smokes early. GX will play a slow default with a majority presence towards B apps.
Rick's just sitting inside E-box. There's players just above. He's got to watch out for those pop flashes. That's going to be the first smoke in to protect them from window. There's the flash that follows. Ricks gets flashed out. He can't find his bearings. Gets stuck against the wall. Still manages to turn around. And he'll win that fight with Pollo. It was the scariest scenario there for Ricks to be stuck in. But he still comes out on top of the duel. It'll be UFC with a man advantage. And a 13-12 score. It's a round they desperately want to win. They want to try and send GX back down to low cash. Have a tie score, potential opportunity to take the lead away. But Rick's so tagged up, playing just beneath the window, he's hoping that someone makes the mistake of peering in that direction and jumping over top of him. Still, though, GX has pumped the brakes. They're not moving. Stalling right now as they wait for a decision to be made.
Giving time for Whitmer to take this duel. Exotic and Whitmer will both miss. As GX now pretty much forced to play their hand with no map control anywhere else and scared of a flank, they'll smoke and drop. As AZK will get it down, but be greeted with another smoke at E-box. That's just going to tick time down. As AZK will sit and wait. Whitmer gets lagged in the meantime. But look for AZK to pounce as soon as his teammates make contact. Out they go. He's going to flash himself out. Dapper, knowing there's a player's chicken coop, is going to try to fight towards sight, and there's just too many players to hit. And with 8 seconds, they need these kills or the plant soon. And Swag's going to get denied. Unless Whitmer can cover him, he can't. Ethan's not going to peek, nor is Cutler. They peek after time. They'd love to find Whitmer. And Whitmer is just going to be able to scurry to cover. That's 13-13, and they just wasted that clock all the way down until they were just forced in what was such an awkward situation.
That could have been really bad, too, if Whitmer died there. You can see he only had $200 coming into this round. He already spent it on a flashbang. If Whitmer dies, not only do they not have the op in this round, which kind of makes this force-up even weaker, but he would just be on terrible cash, and that would eliminate the possibility of him being able to get an op for quite some time. The nade out and over the top from Ricks. That came in through drop. Hits him in the crowns, drops Whitmer down to 83, Swag on 68. It's not a lot of damage, but it's enough to be annoying at the start of a round. And that's Whitmer going down. Whitmer was looking for that advantage, that early pick with the op, and he's not going to get it. He's been shut down in drop room. Swag is going to go and pick it up, and that's just as scary. That's that flex op potential of Swag.
He'll hold towards E-box. Dapper will go. Minute 10. Looks like GX want to abuse drop room early on into this. He comes out from ranks. He's able to get the first, gets caught switching. Good trade from Swag, but Ethan immediately replies with a smoke. So keep GX honest and stuck towards drop room. As Kustik gets lagged, he's going to drop the molly, but look, a wild Swag appears out of the window as he just can't stop himself. Another peek, but this time punished. It leaves Poyo and AZK, and look at AZK waiting behind the smoke, allowing Poyo to walk out. They still know there's a player top tree. That's Ethan, but AZK peeks before Poyo can, and Exotic hits the last shot. UFC looking like they're starting to pull this one firmly in their grasps.
I may have a CLG jersey in my hand right now.
You do,
but,
you definitely
But I'm
do.
still torn. I've known Whitmer for quite some time. Whitmer actually lives in the town right next to mine. He's 15 minutes from my house. I could go high-five him and be back before the next map start. I'm torn, but at the same point in time, I love what I'm seeing from UFC because I feel like it's vindication if they can win this tournament. For the fact that their org dropped them at such a terrible time to be dropped for an org, regardless of whether or not they still have a place to stay. I feel for them, and I wish them the best of luck. And right now, they're showing up on Kabul. It's a close game, sure, but they are winning, and this is a pivotal round. It's 14-13. The T-side spent every penny they had to get into it. 2 AKs for Swag and Poyo, an ump and a couple of pistols. Ricks is playing on the windowsill. The flashbang comes in, and Ricks is going to fall back. He'll play on the other side of it. So they've gotten drop room control, but now what? They got to figure out what they're going to do with it, and Ethan's already found one just by spamming through the smoke. That initiates an attack from Ricks, who will also smoke out the window, and this could not have gone worse for GX.
Reminiscent to the last couple rounds. But yes, they'll get drop room, but where do they go from there? As I imagine, are they going to try to boost the player out to try to get up? leave a lurker, bring the bomb all the way around. They're just giving time for Whitmer to work. But time is really not on their side. 40 seconds, they really have to make a move shortly. Whitmer gets himself to broken wall, and Poyo just gonna hold the window piece. They did boost Dapper up, but Whitmer needs to either A, stay alive, or B, find a kill. Both would be ideal. As he's been spotted, he hasn't even cleared mid, not even spotted it, and Rix is still holding this window still. Persistent as all hell, as Poyo gets tagged down at 34, and Kusta spots the gun barrel. Should be an easy kill for him, as Poyo finds the rotator, but there you have it. Kusta finds the frag. 10 seconds, Whitmer needs to find 3, and it's simply not going to happen. This is 15 for UFC. Whether or not Whitmer hangs on to this op, it's nearly irrelevant.
Counter-terrorists win.
Whitmer hangs on to it. It's 14-13. It's not looking good. Or excuse me, 15-13. Excuse me. All they've got is that op. They've got a little bit of cash. They will be able to buy up something due to the fact that they've hit full loss bonus accumulation. AZK and Poyo both able to afford AKs. Swag can get an ump. And if I'm being perfectly honest, if I'm one of these guys who's struggling right now, I'm AZK, I'm tossing that AK to Swag.
I was going to say that, yeah.
Like, I remember watching Big play at MDL Global Challenge, and there was a round on Train where Tabson couldn't afford a buy. They were on a force buy. Somebody bought an AK and threw it to him. He 4K'd and won the round. Like, when you have a player that has that potential, sometimes you got to put them in the driver's seat and let them just take over. I would love to see what Swag can do here, but he's stuck on an ump for now. It's possible that he could get a kill and upgrade to a rifle later.
Back to the drop room board, as they'll smoke off Rex this time. Force him all the way out towards door, but he also still has to be hesitant. Doesn't want to leave window completely open. Poyo will do his lurk job towards A, make sure no one's flanking. We could see him go towards mid, and look at that angle from Exotic. He holds the right side so tight as he'll catch Whitmer. That deep molly may force Dapper in the open. It's going to. He's burning. Runs back into it. He's going to nearly burn. 4 HP. And Exotic's simply going to hold. And how does Dapper win that? Burns down all the way to 4. Just a peek and hit that shot. Now, GX have a window, and they want to just take full advantage of that.
Rick's picking off one from inside the side. GX trying to move up on the broken wall. The first one out will be Poyo. Nice shot on the Rix, but there's one more hiding in the corner they didn't anticipate. Dapper with a nice shot. 4 HP with an op, but the man does not miss. Swag and Dapper now find themselves in a must-win 2-on-2. 20 seconds left on the clock, and the bomb will be going down on B. Swag's found the AK. Dapper on just a low 4 HP. He's going to try and play games with the planner, see if he can find safety back behind it. There is a man in drop. That would be Cutler, and he's about to get flanked by Swag. Doesn't even hear it coming. Nope, Swag makes a step, but it's okay. Wasn't a fatal misstep. Dapper now just watching towards broken wall. That's where the last player is coming from. The recent upgrade to caller, Kusta. Moving into position. Dapper misses the first shot, but Kusta's running low on time. The nade rains out. It's right on top of Kusta's path. And now they're just buying clock time at this point. Too much has gone off. Kusta's going to try and run and save. GX stays alive, albeit barely.
The fact that Dapper found Exotic is insane to me. And then even finds a second on 4 HP to open up that site even more. 15-14. We may go the distance to OT. We will hit the 30-round mark, but is OT possible? Certainly is with how GX... I mean, and you have to look at how this round's played out. It's been a lot of nice attempts. I mean, if you get timed out twice in one half. That's twice when Whitmer had like 0 cash. Once he could afford a flash. The time after that when he saved an op, he only had $500. Only 2 bomb plants, 4 bomb plants and a half. 2 of which only giving you cash on the rounds you lost. And drop room getting shut down as frequently as it has been. It's been a struggle for GX. But it's just been very back and forth, and that typically favors. And by back and forth, I mean kill-wise. Keeping both teams' economy very honest, that typically favors the T's. And later on, so far, it's just been working out for them.
Here comes the unpause. The vital 30th round. UFC and GX going the distance and potentially further. We do have a buy coming in from GX. The buy from UFC, it isn't pretty. They've got a CZ and an ump in play. 3 rifles, and they've already lost mid control. Look at GX. GX just goes back to what they did in a pistol round not that long ago. barreling towards the A bomb site with absolute speed. It's totally caught UFC off guard as the bomb has already been planted. We're not that far into the round at this point. GX is forcing their hand. They're going to have to play in a 5v5 retake on the A bomb site. I'd say that's probably a first.
Yeah, no one taking a single point of damage. And now the retake's on. Whitmer, what was this shot? Through the door as he's still somehow still alive. Dancing, showing you he took tap dancing classes as it's Kusta. In a 1v3, he may throw the molly, but Poyo's already back sight. Dapper spots him, but Kusta lands the shots. Can't get the flick upwards, and we are headed to OT. Kusta, 29 frags while calling. And rifling, more importantly. These boys have something to prove. I think they're hurting, but they have something to prove.
I'll say this. I think that when Kusta, we were talking about it before, when he played for Liquid, he got a bad rep. People just kind of didn't like what they saw from him. They weren't impressed. I've always felt that Kusta was a stronger player than maybe that run with Liquid showed, and I also felt that he was a good flex player. His ability to rifle was a lot higher than some other North American oppers, and we kind of saw that towards the end of his tenure there, and even on CLG when they had Ricky, because they had dual op potential with Ricky playing as well. Early on when they brought Ricky in, they were kind of checking to see how things were going to work, whether Kusta should be primary op or whether it should be Ricky. I think that ultimately he's proving himself here, holding his own with the rifle, 29 and 24. And again, on top of that, he's the one calling, which is not something we expected coming into the series. We both thought, yeah, it's easy call. It's Cutler. Not so.
Impressive.
Here comes the interesting question. What does this team's roster look like for Pro League next season? Because they still have a Pro League spot, theoretically.
Yeah, they do. And I'd imagine it's...
Unless CLG picks up another team.
Now, wouldn't that be a play? I thought the roster spot stays with players? Or not Pro League?
Winter Fox.
See, that was a messed up sitch, bro.
Yeah, but that's my point. I guess there's a potential that it could go the other way. I don't know.
I just assumed the players the slot would stay with Cutler, Kusta, and Ethan. Stays with the majority. FNS is gone. Ricky's already back home, right? I mean, we'll see. It would be interesting. Call themselves Unemployed boys and have a pro spot. That would be something.
Feels rush, man.
Certainly does. Swag's just gonna straight up run out mid and take as many duels as he can. Kusta, secondary op, is in play. Good to see him back on that weapon. We'll see if he'll have any damage dealt with it. But it looks like GX, it's all a ruse. They wanted to pull players over, bait some utility instead. Now they go back towards B.
We do have Ethan here playing defense. He's over towards E-Box. He's made it out, and his teammate's on site. Exotic's got to be careful. He's jump peeking now looking for intel. He'll see Dapper. Nice shot onto Dapper. Hits the top of his skull, but he ends up getting careened to the side by the bullets of Poyo. Ethan smokes off drop, but he's got to be worried about the players pushing up sidewalk. Just couldn't hear him. Rick's now stuck behind the smoke that his own teammate threw. He can't manage to get back into the site. It's a very sloppy round coming up from USC. One that might give GX an advantage, but there's Cutler bringing it right on back. It's going to be Ricks in a 1-on-2, Whitmer and Swag trying to defend the bomb site that they haven't even planted at yet. 45 seconds left on the clock. The bomb finally heading towards the site. Whitmer's going to be the one that plants it. He's now stuck behind Statue with an op. He can play games right now with Ricks, but Ricks is just sneaking into position. And he'll put one in the back of Whitmer, but I don't think he's anticipating Swag's position. And Swag should be able to spam him as he goes to stick this defuse. There you go.
First round OT will go Swag's way. Cutler made it interesting. But Swag with money play staying in chicken coop to find the last UFC. And this is MR3 10K, it looks like. So keep that in mind. It becomes pricey to pick up these ops. So going into the next round of OT, if UFC don't win this, it's going to be pistols. It's going to be perhaps just some plain Jane SMGs. So money becomes a factor, especially when you're buying expensive weapons. As Kusta, no utility M4 sitting in the corner, will get checked from Poyo. That flash perfectly placed, and Cutler can't land a shot at Swag. They'll open up the A site. They'll keep this train rolling all night long as Ricks is gone, and it's just Exotic as his team will just get rolled again with his mid play from GX.
You're starting to look back at regulation, and you're looking at the eco round that they lost on this same setup, just running up mid. And you're like, oh man, that could have been what sealed the deal for UFC. That could have been a first map over with. Instead, the play continues on, and GX is controlling things right now. You had mentioned it, it's 10K. So there might not be much money left after this. Exotic hits a shot, tries to spin back around, no scopes today. It's 17-15, and the CT side should be broke. This is why people are liking the MR3 16K, but it's also why I'm not sure how I feel about it. It gives you that ability to just be careless with your money. You know, I've actually seen a team buy a Negev every single round and also buy a gun, and the Negev guy buys 2 decoys and throws them towards the area they're attacking, so the sound of just nonstop Negev shots is pouring out, so you can't hear anything.
Yeah.
And then he throws the Negev away, buys an actual gun, and he can do that all 3 rounds with 16K.
It's
Can't
silly.
really do that with the
10K punishes you for misplays 2 rounds in a row, but then again, people argue and say, for example, I was talking to Freiberg at iBet Masters, and he said, I feel like I shouldn't have to worry about money in OT. I've done all that throughout regular, like the regular match time. I shouldn't have to worry about it in OT. So there's arguments to both sides, I suppose.
You've proven that you're even, so money shouldn't be a factor.
Yeah.
It should just be a matter of who can last longer. It shouldn't be about who can manage their money better. So I can understand both sides of it. Early on, though, we do have the pistol picking off a kill. That's Dapper, who got a little bit over-eager in drop room, so he peeks out and loses his head for it. Kusta, he's sitting in danger stairs with a 5.7. Somebody call Kusta and let him know that this gun isn't as good as it used to be. We'll see if he can make it work. He peeks out, dies immediately. Can't blame the gun, though. Really didn't have much of a chance with that angle. Again, the T-side's back to running up fast mid. Whitmer's already made it over the half wall. Poyo's hurdling it as well. He vaults himself into the A bomb site, where we still got one. It's Cutler with an ump. He'll catch Whitmer, who tries to go for a 180 no-scope, just basically panic spamming that shot out. AZK is close, right on the other side of that smoke. It could be an easy kill for Cutler if he can find him. But Cutler's scared, and now he's alone. It's a 1v3. As his teammate dies, the bomb's been dropped. There's actually low clock time left. If he can dance around here in this 1v2, there's possibility. But now he swings out too far, and he catches himself in an awkward position. It's a 3-0 start to overtime here for GX.
I believe we are going to take a quick break here in between OT rounds. So we'll be right back, everybody. Hang on.
My name is Tim the Tap Man. I use CyberPowerPC powered by Intel.
Let's go!
slices and slivers. GX, UFC. Second half of OT, GX need 1 round, and UFC have to go flawless. So, yeah, a lot of work for UFC to do on their T side.
Yeah, a lot of work. But it all starts with the first one. That's the beauty of the MR310, is that even though it sucks because it's a boon on that 3rd round, it can be the same way you get back into the game. So if the CT side goes aggressive with the buy and expects to end things quickly, like, say, getting a Scar 20, it's a way to punish. It's not going to be the case here, but they did go double op. And it's not something we necessarily saw from GX during regulation. That double op wasn't a huge part of their defense. So it's interesting that they wait to overtime to do it now. It will be Whitmer and Swag who's carrying the big green cannon. Exotic, naturally, being the opera that carries it for the T side. Flashbang out from GX. That's Whitmer trying to get away. He's now stuck in a really bad spot. He needs help, and he needs it fast. He tries to go for the smoke. He actually hits a beautiful shot onto Rix. I didn't think he was going to get one, but he does. So at the very least, it's a 1-for-1. And Whitmer says, I have no idea what I'm doing.
It works.
Hey, whatever. I'm enjoying this conversation they're having with one another. That said, Dapper's boosted up, and he's pushed in on drop room. So there's players walking just beneath him. They have no idea of the looming threat behind them. Or really, beside them, for that matter. If Dapper times this right, he should be easily able to gun these guys down. Let's see what happens. Dapper slowly taking the stairs. Try not to make a noise. He's got to be careful. Kusta's right to his right. I don't think he's going to see him. Kusta's going to get a kill. Kusta's going to spot him. It's so unfortunate. Kusta was lining up a nade, and it just works out okay for them. So Dapper's flank that should have been deadly ends up resulting in just 1 kill traded out immediately. AZK up on top of tree does damage, but doesn't pick up a kill. And now the bomb site's been lost. Poyo is stuck behind smokes. It will be a post-plant scenario. The clock ticked down to about 8 seconds as the bomb is eventually planted.
That molly definitely didn't get extinguished with the smoke, by the way. I'm calling rigged on that one, as that molly certainly went behind it as Poyo finds Kusta, however. And it's Cutler and Ethan on 14. Can they hold on to these post plants? Poyo has a good idea where one is. Spots the player sight. Can't let in a shot. But info gained. His Swag will go to the pistol. He gets a call. That one player's lit. He's willing to just straight up fight this. He'll get the molly and chicken coop. Now he's alone. Has to win the duel inside, and he will. Pistol out. This molly's not going to spread, and Swag doesn't pick up the AK. Full trust in the USP, and almost rightfully so. Cutler will die to bomb, but still, GX have done a lot of damage to that economy without that op getting carried over. Let's keep in mind, there's still 2 more rounds.
It's the op player that will really be hurting. Everyone else will be fine, because even if they have to buy again, everyone will have cash. The opper will not be able to afford the op again. Now, naturally, there's no need to worry about, like, oh, what if we get reset? Like, that doesn't matter. You can't get reset. You're going to lose. So they'll have money to buy, even if GX kills everyone and UFC wins the round. It won't matter. There will be money to buy except for the op, and they'd be facing off against pistols anyway, so the op would probably be a poor investment regardless. They've already got control of drop room. Rix is able to get a kill. He dives through the window. Fast play, trying to catch them off guard. Swag's too aware. And it will result in another trade. Something we've seen in several rounds that have played out in overtime thus far. 1-for-1 trades happening within the first 30 seconds of almost every round.
Nah, you're right. I just blonde momented super hard because I realized I can't lose a round, otherwise it's GG. So, yeah, blonde moment. I'm partly blonde.
It happened.
Blame my grandfather.
Why, was he blonde?
Yeah, he was.
Okay, are you blonde?
Half and half.
How do you have half and half blonde hair?
Brunette. It's alright. Ethan finds Poyo, wants to do Bogdan's Law, gets caught throwing his gun, but it won't die. AZK stays up. An exotic appears in front of him. When an exotic situation, his AZK gets 2. All of a sudden, he's almost able to grab that M4, so he doesn't have to reload. Instead, he'll be stuck towards plat as Swag's on the rotation. Again, it's Ethan heavily tagged. 15 HP. And keep in mind, GX win this, it's game over. We head to the second map. Flash over, AZK will go.
Swag still sitting in E-box. The flank coming in from Kusta. This could be a big play, but he gets caught out by Swag. Swag just too aware. He turns back around, catches Kusta, and that'll be the first map going the way of GX in a very close series. And I anticipate the second map will probably be very similar. 1916 GX take it in OT number 1.
And next up is going to be Inferno. So that is GX's pick. That was UFC's pick, actually, by the way, is Cobblestone. So with GX picking that up, a lot of pressure now on Inferno, which is a map that on the CT side, and as well as T side, it can be argued, it takes a good amount of coordination. Granted, you're throwing 2 players in the works that haven't perhaps practiced with you. Maybe they've had a little bit of practice. It's kind of like the Torque situation. So perhaps GX are able to squeak this one out 2-0. It could be our third 2-0 of the evening.
I don't know. Inferno, it kind of will be an interesting one. I am kind of excited to see what they're going to do as far as UFC is concerned on that second map. Like we said, coming into that first series, Inferno is the most even map in the current rotation based on round win percentage. It's calculated off the last 3 months off of HLTV percentages. Now, obviously, that could be heavily skewed because we're talking about high tier 1 professional matches as well as the bottom rung of matches tracked by HLTV. But it is important to note.
It is an important note, and another note that is important: predictions and the giveaway. First and foremost, predictions. If you obviously everyone has an opinion. You type it in chat every time someone wins a round. For example, Swag wins a round, chat goes nuts. So you know the team you are supporting. So why not give that a go and predict your favorite team's winning and give yourself a chance to win stuff, a lot of stuff. So while you watch, might as well give in some predictions as well as enter the giveaway, which doesn't take any thought. Couple clicks, couple follows, couple tweets, and next thing you know, you have a chance to win a bunch of cool stuff. So I'd recommend you do that during this break, and we're right back with Inferno, the second map between UFC and GX.